Very good evening, my dear friends. In today's session, we will discuss about the shares and stock and other securities because our subject is securities, corporate and securities laws. So obviously you have to understand first what do you mean by securities. So earlier I have given you certain explanation about the capital market and then the modus operandi of the securities, and then I have referred to share stocks, debenture stock, derivatives, and then the other kinds of securities. So all that I would like to discuss in these particular different sessions. So the first thing, prima facie, we will discuss about the shares and stock, dear friends. Then the shares and then the stock are both dealt with by the corporate entities. As you know, business can be carried through different modes like the proprietorship concerns, partnerships, cooperative societies, statutory organizations, then the corporate entities, which are called, of course, companies, which are supposed to be registered under the Companies Act, either in the earlier Companies Act or the 2013 Companies Act, as the case may be. Then mostly the business in the world is run through corporate entities only, generally. And then a company, as you know, is an artificial person we have learnt in our last semester, and having an independent entity and different from its members. Then friends, it can sue and it can be sued also. It's created under law and it ends only under the due process of law. Then, which is called, of course, winding up proceedings. Today it is IBC which takes care of these particular aspects. Then the companies are having two sources of funding to carry the business objectives. One is called the share capital, the other one is the loan capital. Share capital is the one which has been collected from the investors towards the contribution to the share capital of the company. Loan capital is collected towards the debentures, debenture stock, the short-term loans, long-term loans from the banks, then the fixed deposits, the bonds, and so on and so forth. So basically, the decisions and the corporate governance in the business activities of a corporate entity are governed by the objects clause of the Memorandum of Association, the company law, and then, of course, articles of association also. As I told you, loan capital is on different forms like the bonds, debentures, loans, fixed deposits, short-term and long-term loans. So in this connection, we have to understand first what is the share capital. So in today's session, I would like to deal with the definition of share. Share in the general meaning has been referred to a right over a part or a definite portion or division of a thing owned by several persons. It could be a reference to individual part of interest over a common undivided interest which belongs to several persons in common. That is the reason why in real estate today we call it as an undivided share of land. In the case of corporate entities, in the present context, talking of investments and securities, we call a share has to be viewed as a security as defined under the Companies Act 2013 and under the legislations like the Securities Contracts Regulation Act 1956 and the other allied legislations, which I have already discussed earlier. The entire corporate existence depends upon the shareholding of the persons running the affairs of the company, and the shares are also otherwise technically called equities. The equity shareholders have the say in corporate governance. Now we refer to subsection 84 of section 284. 2 subsection 84 of the Companies Act, which defines share as share means a share in the share capital of the company and includes stock also. Stock is consolidation, share is individual contribution. Thus, a share is an individual holding of a shareholder in the total share capital of the company. And the total share capital of the company is divided into small segments called shares, which I have already explained in our Companies Act, which I discussed in the last semester. For example, a company may be having a share capital of 10 lakhs, which would be divided into 1 lakh shares of 10 rupees each. That means the total share capital of the company is 10 lakhs divided into 1 lakh shares of 10 rupees each. The individual face value of share is rupees 10, even though the market value may be 1000 rupees, as it is the case with several blue chip companies now in the market. I advised you earlier to follow the Economic Times, the Hindu especially, Economic Times, in this regard, which would give you a great outlook about the share market, the economic status of the country, and various issues pertaining to the economy of the country. So at least during the session, I wish that you would follow this Economic Times, the newspaper. So in the decision making of the affairs of the company, the majority shareholders' voice will prevail and the minority is constituted according to the holding of shares by them as shareholders. A person who purchases a share or shares is called a shareholder, and a shareholder could be any individual or even a juristic person also. A company also can hold shares. A share creates to its holder a bundle of rights and obligations. Under Section 44 of the Companies Act 2013, a share is a movable property transferable in the manner provided by the articles of the company, and under the Sale of Goods Act, a share is a movable property, of course. So this is under Section 2, subsection 7 of the Sale of Goods Act 1930. Shares and stock are goods which mean they are movable property. The concept of company form of organization tells that the shares was originated from the English law, and we had to go back to the original English law. In India, it is 1850 Act, ended up today with 2013 Act. The company law developed further by the British common law and the judicial precedents thereon. So some of the important decisions happen to be Borland's Trustee versus Steel Brothers, reported in 1901, Volume 1, Chancery, page 279. Justice Farewell defined a share as the interest of a shareholder in the company, measured by a sum of money for the purpose of liability and of dividend, and further comprising of a series of mutual covenants entered into by all the shareholders among themselves in accordance with the Companies Act. Lord Justice Lindley in Re National Bank of Wales, reported in 66, LJ Chancery, pages 225 and 226, observed that a share in a company does not denote rights only and denotes obligations also. Now the company law, even though was originated from the English law, has been Indianized. I can say it is indigenized and then Indianized, of course, as per the needs of the Indian business and industry today. Even 1956 Companies Act, this exercise has been done. Earlier, 1913 Act also. And then, of course, drastic changes in 1956 and then further changes in the 2013 Act. However, the basic concepts like company, corporate entity, shares, stock, debentures, and the like ones remain same, as the concepts have got a very universal application and implications. And then the Honorable Supreme Court of India has developed much law, and then various high courts also contributed in this context. In Commission of Income Tax versus Standard Vacuum Oil Company, reported in 1966, Volume 1, Company Law Journal, page 187, Supreme Court. I repeat, 1966, Volume 1, Company Law Journal, page 187, Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court held that a share is an interest measured by a sum of money and made up of diverse rights conferred on the holders by the articles of the company, which constitute a contract between the shareholder and the company. Beautiful definition. Thus, a share plays a most pivotal role in the corporate governance and the life spring of a company. It is the corporate shares which play pivotal role in the corporate wars, ultimately holding up, like the Escorts case, as you understand. Escorts versus LIC of India. The return of the share capital, of course, is payable only out of the profits of the company, but shares cannot be otherwise refunded. And without the share capital, a company cannot come into existence at all. And then consolidation of the shares without segmentation is called stock. So this is a background with which you can write your examination on the shares and stock. You had to study this even though you studied earlier in the third semester, for the reason that to understand SEBI SECRA depositories, you had to again recapitulate what you have understood earlier on shares and debentures. So it is necessary that this particular definition has to be studied once again. So with this judgment of the Supreme Court and then this particular definition is given in the Companies Act 2013, I think your study will be complete. So friends, in our next lecture, we will deal with the debentures and debenture stock. So that would be loan capital. Now what we have discussed is the share capital. So thank you, dear friends, and then we'll meet again. Goodbye, good day.